Hello there, Ray here, and today I'd like to show you my newly compacted brewing system. This is a item input dependent infinitely automatic brewing system, and what this means is that as long as there is ingredients to brew potions, it will be brewing potions indefinitely. This brewing system allows you to use up to 5 ingredients per potion except for Dragon's Breath, and you can see that I compacted it down to a 2 by 4 by 5 meter area. This is currently the smallest brewing system of this type, and it also works in 1.9 as well as 1.8. Comparing my new design to my old design, which was my first YouTube video, you can see that I managed to remove this whole bottom layer here. This allowed me to decrease the size of this footprint here, and I also added in a 5th dropper because you can brew up to 5 ingredients with this setup. Here is a view of both sides if you want to build this without a tutorial. So you want to start out with a setup like this, with this hopper pointing into this chest, and then you want to have a top slab, a solid block here, a redstone torch, a sticky piston, a redstone block here. Now put a hopper in here, put your repeater going into that with the redstone dust behind it, and then put 2 top slabs in there. Now put a comparator here with the furnace in the back of it, and a redstone here, another comparator, put that on subtraction mode. That goes into a solid block with a redstone torch behind it. Above the redstone torch, you have a solid block going into a repeater on a full delay, which goes into a dropper, which this dropper will be facing this direction, and then we have one dropper facing upwards here. And then we have the hoppers coming to the side and up. Now we have a redstone dust on top of that dropper, and then we have a dropper in the side of this one, like that. And then we have one on top of the repeater and one back here. And then we fill in this with our hoppers. So now we want to go into the furnace and just place one item into the furnace here. And then go over here to this hopper and place in 22 items, filling up the back 4 slots. And now it's time to place in all our ingredients. So the first one you want to do is your main ingredient will go in here. And then this don't really matter what order this is, but you can put your gunpowder in here, your glowstone or your redstone in here, and then this one will either be netherwort or your fermented spider eyes. Those two might have to be swapped around depending on where you place this. Now we come into this hopper and we place in our blaze powder, and we also add in our water bottles in here. And to get the whole thing started, we just come into this hopper here and we just put in well, we gotta go up one hopper, this hopper over here, drop in another wort. And now you got the whole system brewing. And you can see that this system, the way I had this, the fermented spider eye, came before the nether wort. If you want more water bottle and blaze powder storage, you can always just add on a hopper and add a chest up here. Or if you want to keep the same footprint, you can do like I did in my old system where I stacked a whole bunch of minecart chests here. And that way you can get a lot of water bottles in a small amount of room. Because the block update order is a little bit different depending on where you build this, the system may leave the last potion in this slot. If you have this problem, you probably built this in a location where it doesn't update properly. So try not building it in the south or east direction. And if you're having trouble, try moving the whole system up or down a block. An easy way to avoid this is just before you build this in your survival world, just look at the location where you want to build it in your survival world, and then just come on to a creative world and test it there. And if it works in your creative world, it should work in your survival world. So I'll give a quick explanation on how this works. When the last ingredient is missing this slot, this comparator no longer puts out a signal, and it will turn this torch on here, which will just power this hopper here and lock it so no water bottles can enter the brewing stand. And then it will also turn off this torch, which will retract this block here, and this will allow the potions that are within the brewing stand to be let down into this hopper and into this chest. And at the same time, this torch goes up into this solid block, goes across this repeater, and powers this dropper and the other 4 droppers. This dropper will shoot off first, and it will just drop the item above this hopper, which will be picked up immediately and placed in the first slot. And then this hopper will shoot off, and then this one will shoot off, and then these two will shoot off, but because this redstone dust is powering this hopper, it will actually switch the order in which these two ingredients come through. There you have it, guys, the smallest item input dependent infinitely automatic brewing system. If you found this interesting, show me with a like. If you'd like to see more neat contraptions like this, subscribe and don't forget to comment. Bye bye!